Guys, it's Stacy here. Welcome to my channel, Life's a Project, where I like to share my everyday life projects with you. And today's project, I'll be starting some petunia seeds indoors. So I've been super excited for seed starting indoors, and I've done a couple of videos. The first one is seed starting supplies you'll need and the supplies needed to set up a simple grow light system. The second video is my seed purchase for 2020. So if you have not yet and would like to check out those videos, I will link them down in the description below. So I have some seed starting supplies here, but first I want to talk about these petunia seeds. These are dwarf bedding, mixed colors. I just love the colors, the whites, the pinks, the purples, a little bit of red. They like full sun. Petunias are an annual. I purchased these seeds from Lowe's for $1.58. On the back here, just some care and maintenance information, when to start them in your area. So of course, if you don't want to seed start them indoors, you can just directly sow them outside when it's time in your area after your last frost date. So you want to start petunia seeds 10 weeks before your last frost date. Now to find out your last frost date, that's simple. You can find it out online. I live in Kentucky. It's a zone 6. My last frost date is April the 11th. So on a calendar, you just count back 10 weeks from that last frost date, so that would be February the 1st. So tomorrow is February the 1st, so the perfect time to start my petunia seeds indoors. So when you're seed starting indoors, you'll need a seed starting mix. So this is the Jiffy Natural and Organic Seed Starting Mix. It has peat moss, coconut coir, and vermiculite. You can see over here is the 12 dry quart bag. I purchased this between $5 and $6 at Lowe's. And then down here I have a disposable aluminum pan I'll be using and a wooden spoon. So before using any type of seed starting mix indoors, it's always a good idea to first sterilize the mix. Because with any seed starting mix, there's always a chance that fungus gnat eggs and other insect eggs can be in your seed starting mix, and you don't want them hatching out in your house. So just wanted to show you here quickly how nice and light and fluffy this Jiffy seed starting mix is, and that's what you want, something really nice and light and fluffy that holds moisture and that will allow the little seedling to come up and their little roots to grow. So I've just finished sterilizing my seed starting mix. It was really simple to do. I just boiled some water and just poured it right over the mix here and just gave it a stir, and now I'm just letting it cool. Now you always want to start with a moistened seed starting mix anyway, so you're kind of killing two birds with one stone by moistening your mix and also killing off any chance of there being any disease or insect eggs in your mix. Now you don't want your mix soggy, but when you give it a squeeze, you may see a couple drops of water, and that's what you want. So now that the seed starting mix is nice and cool, it's time to fill up my little containers here. So I purchased these from Amazon. They have drainage holes in the bottom. They measure about 3 inches wide across the top and about 3 inches tall as well. So what I like to do is take the seed starting mix, add a little bit to the bottom, and then pack it in here with my fingers, and then add a little bit more to the top, but not too much. I like to leave a little bit of a lip around the top of the container. So that's how I like to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these containers filled up so I can start my seeds. So I have 8 little pots here filled up and ready to go. I have them placed on this tray. So this is just a disposable aluminum cake pan. You want something that has sides and that can hold water, so you don't want it to have any holes. And I also have some garden tags or garden labels. I purchased those from Amazon. You can see here they say Petunia and today's date. So it's good to label your containers so you know what's growing inside, and to also date them so you know when you started your seeds. So now it's time to plant the seeds. I have my seeds here, and guys, they are super small, so it may be hard for you to even see when they go into the soil. So I'm just going to pour some out in my hand here. See, look how small they are. That's crazy. So what I like to do is take some in my hand, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top of the soil on each of these containers. So like I said, where they're super small, it really is hard to kind of count how many is going into each one. So just sprinkle in a few. I mean, there's probably a few hundred in that pack. And if there is too many that come up, you can always thin them out later. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle all these in, and I'll show you the next step. So guys, there's so many different ways to plant your seeds. I like to just sprinkle them in because they're so small, and just add some soil on the top and then just give it a little press. You could also kind of sprinkle these in and using something like a popsicle stick or a toothpick or a pencil, just something to kind of work them down into the soil. Whatever method that you use, you just want to make sure, according to the packet, that these seeds are buried 1/4 of an inch deep into the soil. So now that my seeds are planted, it's time for watering. So I have some water in this large mason jar, and I have my little pot sitting in this tray. And like I said, you want one with sides with no holes so it can hold water, because I like to water from the bottom. So what you do when you're watering from the bottom, you put your water inside the tray about halfway up, and that allows the little pots through the drainage holes in the bottom to wick up that moisture into the soil, and so you don't overwater. And by not watering over the top, you don't disrupt your seeds and disrupt the soil, and you could also damage your seedlings. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in some water, and you want your pots to sit in here for about 15 to 30 minutes. It'll soak up what it wants, and you can pour off the excess. I think I'm going to add in a little bit more. You want to make sure that the water is high enough onto the pot so it's easy to soak up that moisture. So I have my little garden markers in place, and I've emptied out the water in this tray. It's soaked up all that it wanted to. So you want to check the soil daily. You can just put your finger in there. If it's dry, you can add some more water to the tray and it'll soak up what it wants. If it's still moist, just leave it alone. Just let it dry out a bit. You don't want to keep your soil super moist. You will rot your roots of your little seedlings. So according to the seed packet, days to germination is 4 to 10 days. So that's something you want to look for every day. As soon as that seedling comes through the soil, you need to have it underneath a grow light to prevent legginess. You don't want those little seedlings getting weak and leggy, trying to reach for the light and it's not there. So go ahead and get them underneath a grow light. So you can see here I have my seedlings placed under just a simple grow light system using a clamp light and an LED light bulb. So this is really the most simple and inexpensive way to do a grow light system. So right now I have all 8 pots kind of centered underneath this grow light, and when I add more containers to this tray, I can just scoot down the whole tray in the box to be centered underneath this grow light. And if I feel like some of these containers are not getting enough light, then I can move the little containers around as well. So I just wanted to show you really quickly with the grow light on the distance between the seedlings and the light. You only need about 2 to 4 inches. You want the seedlings to get as much light as possible. So the main reason for the shoebox is to bring those seedlings up to the light. Now, of course, when your seedlings start to grow, you can remove the shoebox, and of course, that will give you the distance you need from the light. So guys, that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two about starting petunia seeds indoors. So I hope you will subscribe to my channel so you can grow right along with me, and I will give you updates in future videos. My plan is to start different seeds indoors each week. So guys, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.